Hi, my name's Katie, and this is my poster presentation on Benjamin Bloom for the BED 100 unit. Benjamin Bloom was an American education psychologist and creator of Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives. So Benjamin Bloom was born on the 21st of February 1913 in Pennsylvania, Lansford, Pennsylvania, and as a child he was constantly curious and questioning life and the world around him. He read absolutely anything he could, and it got to the point at the library where they didn't actually think he was reading the books that he kept getting out, so they actually barred him from getting out books. He was also a very avid and thorough researcher right from his childhood up until his death in 1999 at the age of 86 in Chicago, surrounded by his family. Bloom completed his bachelor and master's at the Pennsylvania State University in 1935. He then went on to complete a PhD in education at the University of Chicago in 1942. Bloom sat on the Board of Examiners at the University of Chicago from 1940 to 1943, and from 1943 to 1959 he became a university examiner. Some of Bloom's accomplishments was in 1970, Bloom was honoured by becoming a Charles H. Swift Distinguished Professor at the University of Chicago, which is quite a prestigious award and ranking within the university. He also helped to create the International Association for the Evaluation of Educational Achievement. Bloom was also an advisor to many different governments around the world, especially India and Israel, in regards to their education and educational achievement. And his main contribution to education was that he was reinforcing the importance of analysing and evaluating information as opposed to remembering facts and rote learning. So basically what he believed is that it was more important to have a greater depth of understanding of a subject matter as opposed to just rattling off facts, figures and stats, because anyone can do that. If you don't understand what those figures are, you really don't understand what it is. So that's where the Bloom's taxonomy of learning came in. So his taxonomy became widely known for creating a more holistic approach to teaching and education, and it was first published in 1956 after 8 years of work. Now, there were a few different contributors to the taxonomy, but it was mainly Bloom, and it was his main project, so hence why it's named after him. It's depicted as a stairway, so you can't go up to the next level unless you have ticked off the bottom level, so it works up that. So basically, the highest level is your highest level of education. That is when you have the greatest depth of understanding of the subject matter. It is used to help teachers to create outcomes and targets for their students to achieve that are based on the depth of learning as opposed to the actual subject matter. So there are a few different levels within the taxonomy. So your first one is knowledge, you then have comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So evaluation is at the top. The knowledge tier is your very base level, and that is just your prior knowledge to the subject matter. Your top level is the evaluation, and the evaluation is when you are able to assess what you already know. So you cannot get to the top level unless you pass through each of the different steps. So Bloom's taxonomy is still used today, and it's been revised a few times to help create it to fit towards the modern teaching. So it's been revised about 3 or 4 times because obviously it was written back in the 50s, so it matched the 50s way of education, and now it's kind of been worded a bit differently to fit our level of education now. Teachers still use it to help create assessments and to help their students to have a better understanding. And the overall goal of it is to make sure that the students have an understanding of the subject matter, the depth of the subject matter, as just knowing, okay, that's a dog. You know all about the dog. So Bloom's taxonomy is revolutionary in regards to education, and it will still continue to be used. It is used from kindy right through up into your postgraduate studies. So it is something that does not singular one particular year group, and I think that's why it's such a fantastic resource and method, that a theory that teachers use today. Thank you.